Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück hier auf meinem Kanal zu einer neuen Folge Vampyr. Wir sind jetzt zu Lady Ashby in die Villa eingeladen worden. Dort sind wir auch beim letzten Mal angekommen zum Schluss. Und die beiden haben jetzt erstmal eine kleine Unterhaltung.
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
Will they fight the guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing trade.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information and then deciding how to use it.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
Have they threatened you in any way?
Not at all. Their message surprised me at first, but it is only logical, considering the critical situation in London.
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
They have done nothing but impede my investigations since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave? Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is the founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know him as the Earl of Bristol. He is rich and extremely influential.
How old is he? How long has he been a vampire?
Lord Redgrave claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon Club may be the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
They are not all immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are awarded immortality.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Priwen has called for a second great hunt of our kind, and they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
Guard of Priwen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Priwen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Ekons I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
I think I saw them kill an Ekon on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Priwen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
Why start a second one?
Priwen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us is the cause of the epidemic.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation. We need clarity.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
Will I ever discover the identity of my maker?
Maybe not, Jonathan. We know for sure you were made by a powerful vampire, but most of those fled England long ago.
Please forgive my bluntness, but I have to ask. Was it you? Did you make me?
Oh, Jonathan. I know you shall always have a gnawing doubt about who made you an immortal. But I swear, I had nothing to do with it.
You have no idea at all? You seem to know so many things about the secrets of the vampire underworld.
Even if I had my suspicions, I would not dare give you a name so soon. All I can say is this. I will make inquiries and keep you informed.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No, I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon. We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
Ah, da scheint Romantik in der Luft zu liegen zwischen den beiden. Da hat's wohl geknistert. So scheint es zumindest. So, wo muss ich jetzt hin? Die große Jagd. Sprich mit Lady Ashbury. Das Schattenkabinett. Lady Ashbury hat mich informiert, dass Lord Redgrave, der unsterbliche Vorsitzende des mächtigen Ascalon Clubs, meine Anwesenheit erbeten hat. Elizabeth denkt, das plötzliche Interesse des Clubs habe damit zu tun, dass meine Schwester eine so starke Ekon wurde, nachdem ich sie gebissen hatte. Das war anscheinend ein Beweis für meine hohe vampirische Abstammung. Und beim Ascalon Club dreht sich alles um den Stammbaum. Ihr zufolge muss ich die Einladung annehmen und ihr Spiel mitspielen, solange es meinem Interesse dient. Ich werde Ihren Rat befolgen und so schnell wie möglich bei Lord Redgrave vorstellig werden. Gut. East End.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Gespannt. Was uns dort erwarten wird.
I cannot enter.
Neuer Unterschlupf ist im Bezirk. Jetzt habe ich schon wieder diese Arschkarte. Weißt du, da soll ich dann dahin und man lässt mich nicht durch.
It's locked.
toll. Und nu? Man merkt schon, man merkt trotzdem, auch wenn mir das Spiel gefällt, man merkt an diesem Kram trotzdem, dass das alles nicht so 100% ausgereift ist.
This one ain't on our list.
Well, that's one less anyway. It'll make McCullum happy.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Tja. Wohl eher nicht. Gucken, vielleicht hatte der Vampir ja was dabei.
Stupid fucking beast! Over there! There's one of them!
Die Gefahr des Ikurs. Von all den bösartigen, garstigen Skulls, die ich jemals bekämpfte, mag das Ikur oder Ikur das Schlimmste gewesen sein, nicht wegen seiner Kampfkraft, obwohl es ein starker, gefährlicher Gegner bleibt, oder wegen seiner Schleue und Gerissenheit. Ein Ikur ist er roh und direkt in seinen Taten und Zielen. Doch zu jeder Zeit und überall, wo dies möglich ist, verbreitet es Krankheit, Seuchen und Epidemien. Ein Ikur ist die Verkörperung von Viren und Infektionen. Wo es auch wandelt, treten Krankheiten auf und verbreiten sich rasant. Es ist, als würde es nur auf dieser Erde weilen, um Plagen und Epidemien zu erzeugen, als würde seine Haut selbst Siechtum ausdünsten. Ikur sind listig, heimtückisch und bösartig. Selbst unzählige Wunden machen ihm nichts aus. Die verderbte und perverse Natur der Ikur lässt sie das Verunreinigen von Wasserspeichern, Kornkammern und Gelagen freudig genießen. Sie sind selten genug, dass wir kaum etwas über sie wissen. Die Trägerbruderschaft denkt, Ikur seien keine Vampire oder Skulls, sondern etwas anderes. Ich weiß nur eine Sache gewiss: Ein Ikur muss, sobald es gesichtet wurde, mit allen notwendigen Mitteln zerstört werden. Okay, Ikur nennen die sich. Haben wir wieder was gelernt. Ein Ikur. Das müssen dann die richtig Bösen sein. Jetzt wissen wir zumindest schon mal, was für die spanische Grippe verantwortlich ist. Ein Ikur auf jeden Fall.
I cannot enter.
Okay, da kommen wir nicht rein. Wahrscheinlich sollen wir da auch noch nicht rein. Oh, warte. So, da war ich gerade. Obwohl, ne, war ich nicht, aber ist auch
It's locked.
Ja. Das muss ja auch alles immer abgeschlossen sein in dem Spiel. Aber vielleicht hat das alles schon so seinen Sinn. Geschlossen. Ah ja, okay. Jetzt weiß ich, wo es hier lang geht, auf jeden Fall. Da geht es nämlich nach Whitechapel.
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Trust the leech! I'll kill it!
Aufgeschlossen. Wo auch immer die jetzt hinführt. Ah ja, doch, ich weiß es. Dann hätte ich, wenn ich hier lang gegangen wäre, hätte ich auch wieder vor verschlossenen Toren gestanden. Wenn ich nicht direkt außen rum gegangen wäre. Quarantänezone. Westendbezirk ist auch cool. Auf jeden Fall. Ah, schau mal. Gut.
It's locked, all right.
Und warum? Ist das abgeschlossen? Ich will halt nicht, dass wir da reingehen. Das ist aber irgendwie auch doof. Gibt es ja keinen Weg dadurch. Scheinbar nicht. Schade, dass das kein Unterschlupf ist. Unterschlüpfe, die sind immer so so verfallen. Dass mal so einen schicken, geräumigen geben würde. Den man sozusagen, wobei den schickesten, den wir haben, ist immer noch im Krankenhaus. Das war bis jetzt der beste Unterschlupf. Mal so Nobelunterschlupf hier im Nobelviertel wäre auch was Feines. Hier auch aufgeschlossen. ist wahrscheinlich so ein Ikon. Oder wie die sich
I
nennen.
have this thirst for blood.
Anders kann ich mir das nicht vorstellen. 7765 habe ich bis jetzt. Ja, wir haben auf jeden Fall einen Unterschlupf hier sicher. Der ist aber da vorne. Muss ich erst mal gucken, wo der ist. Hier vorne muss ein Unterschlupf sein. Streng genommen. Das nenne ich mal einen Unterschlupf. Wenn das kein Unterschlupf ist, dann weiß ich es auch nicht.
My glasses. I feel like reading. Spending next summer in France.
Mal gucken, wer das ist.
Mother, good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
Ich könnte meine eigene Mutter umbringen in dem Spiel. Das ist ja heftig. Da stand mesmerieren. Ich könnte sie auch mesmerieren wie jeden anderen NPC.
It's locked, all right.
Ja. Es ist zwar dein Haus, aber es ist trotzdem abgeschlossen, du armes Schwein. Jetzt plündern wir erstmal das eigene Haus. Das ist der Haushälter wahrscheinlich.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
What is the situation? Have you... I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I'm sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I lived.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
Considering the recent tragedies in this family, I'd understand if you want to leave or decide to serve another house.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
Na, aber sicher doch, Herr Onkel Doktor. Was mich irgendwie etwas wundert, das Haus scheint keine Eingangstür zu haben. Oh, warte doch.
It has been such a long
The
time
Ascalon Club,
since I last went
the
to
heart
the
of
theatre.
British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected. Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Auf jeden Fall eine Menge zu verhökern.
Don't let any strangers come into your house.
Nobel, Nobel, Nobel.
It's locked.
Tja.
The night is so peaceful. I understand exactly what that...
Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house. Have you noticed it? Anything suspicious recently? Remember, don't...
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny. I didn't want to sound selfish.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Right to vote is only the first step.
Haben wir
Women
sogar
die
noch
too in this war.
einen Busenkumpel von ihm gefunden.
Women of all countries unite. Support the equality between men and women.
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste, even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Tja, mit Sicherheit nicht einfach.
Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Ja, aber sie hat mir immer noch nicht erklärt, wo ihre Freundin stecken soll. Gut, vielleicht ist sie dort. Oder dort. Man weiß es nicht. Tempelgarten. So, das da hinten wird dann, muss ganz klar der Nobelbezirk sein. Wo wir uns jetzt die ganze Zeit aufgehalten haben. Im Westbezirk Status stabil. Lauf. Lauf schnell, lauf weit, doch lauf.
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I am... Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy
dirty, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
Oh, weia.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones, their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
Mit der muss ich mich dann noch ein andermal unterhalten. Mit der Rattenfrau. Hier sind eine Menge NPCs am Start noch, mit denen ich noch interagieren muss. Jede Menge. Das ist unser Kompagnon.
Women's suffrage is only the first step. Women of all countries unite.
Alter Brief. Anwesen Reed-Familie. Mein lieber Avery, wie ich Ihnen bereits vor Tagen mitgeteilt habe, muss ich England verlassen, wenn auch nur für ein paar Monate. Solange ich fort bin, bis mein Sohn nach London zurückkehrt, möchte ich, dass Sie sich gut um unser Haus kümmern. Ich habe bereits die nötigen Arrangements getroffen, um Ihren Lohn zu erhöhen und Ihnen so lange weiter zu zahlen, wie Sie hier arbeiten. Sie haben mir versprochen, meine geliebte Frau zu beschützen und ihr bestmöglichst zu dienen. Dafür möchte ich mich von ganzem Herzen bei Ihnen bedanken. Sollte ich nicht wiederkehren, haben einzig und allein Sie mein vollstes Vertrauen. Ihr innigster Freund Aubrey Reed.
Rumors of abductions in the West End at night. That can't be true.
Das ist wohl der Vater. So, das ist unser Zuhause. Gut, wir machen jetzt erstmal einen Break, weil wir haben jetzt fast eine Stunde voll. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wenn ja, lasst mir gerne ein Like und ein Abo da. Dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Bis dahin, see ya und danke fürs Einschalten.